Hi from Cloud Solutions. My name's Andre, and I'll just take you through Zoho Books and Stripe and some work that we've been doing with customers recently. And this relates around Stripe in-person contactless payments with tap and pay using the terminals from Stripe. So let's have a quick look at some of the things that we've been able to achieve or are possible. We've been able to initiate a payment for an in-person payment to the Stripe devices, and that is normally in a situation that may be in a profession like a dentist, a doctor. It can be done also with cash sales for particular products, but any situation where you need to settle a invoice and you want to initiate that payment in person. Also, we can take a preset amount. So normally in option 1, the balance of the invoice would be the amount sent to Stripe for processing or for payment. Whereas if there's an agreement that a deposit will be paid, for example, then you can set the amount you wish to send to the Stripe terminal for the customer to pay. We're also, through that, let's say, process, once the payment is made, to actually connect to Stripe, get those payment details back so we can get the fees, we can get the reference details of the transaction, etc. So all of that happens in one step. So 1 and 3 or 2 and 3 work together all in one process. The other thing that's possible is when you're sending the payment to Stripe, it is possible to also send customer details, their email, etc. And that can actually create a customer in Stripe. So Stripe will hold the details of that person's card, etc. So in the future, you can process a payment on behalf of that customer and they need not be in person to pay. So that might be also useful in some particular industries. The fourth option there we've got is when a third-party application is used to take payments on your behalf, and while an invoice may well be created and sent to Zoho Books, the payment details may not be. So I'll show you an example where we've been using a web portal to sell tickets to events online, and while we are able to create an invoice for each ticket that's sold or each order that's placed, getting the payment details and settling the invoice is a manual process. So we have written scripts to just simply speed that whole process up, and we'll show you that one live in a minute. So let's have a look at the terminals that Zoho can work with through the scripting from Stripe. So Stripe offer 2 terminals that can be programmable. So that does mean that Zoho can send script to them, Deluge script, and send the amount required to them. Both these devices use Wi-Fi, and as long as you're connected to a network, this will basically work. They also work on batteries, so technically they can be taken outdoors and used as well. So in Zoho Books, what we've done is on the invoice screen, we've placed, or in the invoice display screen, we've placed an option that says take payment. And once you click that, those steps will initiate. So the amount that's due will be sent to the terminal. So if I show you that, so the amount due is sent to the terminal. Then the customer will place their card towards the top where it's contactless tap and pay. And then finally that is processed and the payment is approved. And once that's the case, then the Zoho Books is automatically updated with the payment details. So that all happens in probably about 10 to 15 seconds. It's very quick. What I'm going to show you now quickly is just a third-party app that is used by another customer and I'll show you how we can retrieve the payment details for that. Okay, so this is the application that we're using here, and this customer uses a product called Ticket Tailor to sell tickets to events online. And while this has integration to a product like Zapier, where this allows us to create the invoice automatically, the Stripe payment is another issue. So what we're able to do is part of the invoice creation process, which is of course automated, we can also embed or capture the Stripe payment reference, okay? And that's the key to it. So once we've got that, we simply extract that, reach out to Stripe via the APIs, grab the data we need as far as the payment details and the fees paid, and we also grab some additional information as well, which I'll show you. So all I have to do is push Ticket Tailor Payment. Yes, I'm happy to run this custom action. Close, and now you'll see the invoice is paid. It's retrieved the information, and if we have a look at the payment notice here, you'll see that it's also grabbed data of the last 4 digits of the credit card that was used to purchase the tickets, the type of card it was, and Zoho's authorization code. So there's quite a bit of data available, and you can grab whatever you wish. Of course, we've also got the processing fee from Stripe, and if we edit that, you'll see it's placed in here, and it's sent to the Stripe clearing account in our chart of accounts. Hi, the next function I want to show you is the same customer actually operates 2 bars, and I want to give you an example where we look in the Stripe account and we can see these various charges, the dates, etc. And we can also, because the Stripe terminals have been named, we can see in the payment details how much card processing came from each bar. However, you know, this takes a wee bit of time to organize and sort the transactions to get the totals for each bar. And you can see for this particular day we've got $112, $5.13 with a net coming to a bank of 106. So we've written another script to help this client, and what you'll see at the bottom here is basically nothing just now, but I'm going to run a script and then you'll see it go out to Stripe. So what we've got here is a function called Stripe details per shift. Per shift means when the bar is open, and what it's actually going to do is it's actually reading this detail here, getting the date and getting the time of the starting, and then also getting the time of closing. Okay, and it's looking between those 2 points in time for the transactions. So we'll run the script now and we'll see what happens. So once the invoice has been created, we've got the details of the time and the date, and it goes out to Stripe. It actually tells me that there were 13 transactions during the period. So if we have a look at our spreadsheet, we take 1 as obviously not counted because that's the heading, 14. So that's correct. There were 13 transactions. The total amount was 112, which is correct. The total fees, 512. 512 is correct. But then this is the clever part. The script goes out and actually splits the charges and the fees into each bar. So that is a very good analysis of the Stripe. So going out there, looking at a particular day, looking at a date, and then looking at a time range i.e. in this one it was looking at between 6:28 p.m. and 7:59 p.m. and it went out, found those transactions and then summarized them by terminal or by bar, right? Because we named the terminals, it could sort these out, and if we had more terminals, this script would just do that automatically for us, right? So that's a very useful script and one that's saving the customer a lot of time. Right, the last one I want to show you is in Zoho Inventory. And in Zoho Inventory, a particular product has been sold online. We received an email that this product has been sold, so we, after the invoice was entered, we added the PI number instead of the CH. So PI means payment intent. So sometimes you may get a payment intent reference number, other times you may get a CH, which is the charge reference number, or TX, transaction reference. So anyway, this time we've got the PI reference, and we're just going to go out to Stripe and get the payment details. So you'll see here we've got a button on the toolbar here. It says Stripe payment. So we'll just process that script. It's grabbing that PI reference. It's gone out to Stripe. It's brought that data in. If we have a quick look at the payment, it's grabbed the data, it's grabbed the fees, it's putting it in our clearing account, it's referenced the invoice number that it was for, last 4 digits of the credit card, and yeah, it's made a note here also the Stripe fees. So that once again saves a lot of time and effort, and is another way it can work inside Zoho Inventory, which is also obviously integrated with Zoho Books, so both of them can work from there. So if any of these things are of interest for your business, please let me know, and we can certainly provide some consulting help with those. You can get hold of us at inquiry@cloudsolutions.asia. Thank you.